Hey there, this is Kristin from Printable Cuttable Creatables. In this video, I'm going to show how to assemble this cute gingerbread gable box. The version I'll be showing in this video is a layered version, which means that each of these elements would be cut from different colors of cardstock and then layered and assembled together, which gives you a really beautiful finished box. And then you could also have fun playing with like different glittered papers and specialty papers and things like that. I do also include a print then cut version of this box with the file. If you are making quite a lot of these boxes, it can take a lot of time to layer all the different pieces. So if you're making a bunch of them, you can just use print then cut and kind of speed up the whole process. So both of these files are included with the Gingerbread Gable Box file, but I will make a separate video showing how to print and cut and assemble the print and cut version. So in this video, we're just going to focus on the layered version of this box, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so after your pieces are cut, I'm going to go ahead and start by folding along all of the score lines. And I'm going to fold, if this is the outside of the box, I'm folding everything inward. I'm folding all of the tabs and flaps inward, with the exception of the gingerbread man. I'm going to fold towards the outside of the box. Okay, so we can kind of see it start to take shape as we fold, and I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And just fold the panels, and then again everything's folding inward except for the little gingerbread man at the top. He gets folded outward. Okay, so we've got both of our panels folded, and then we can apply the little scalloped roof top. So we're going to go ahead, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold that little part. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side, and just very carefully, just fold along that scored line. And then we can go ahead and attach the frosting to the roof. So I'll go ahead and put some glue on here. And then I'll just very carefully place it on the roof and make sure that the score lines in the frosting are lined up with the score lines on the box. And just press that down real good and make sure it folds correctly. And then we can do the same with the other side. So I'll put some glue on here and very carefully place it onto the roof of the box, and just make sure that the score lines in the frosting line up with the score lines on the box panel. So once we've done that, then we can move on and start adding the gingerbread faces on these little guys. So I like to use a tweezer to help me with some of those tinier pieces. It just helps, with the placement of those tiny pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put his face on. And then I'll go ahead and do the other side. And now we can join both of these panels together. So I'll put glue on one of the glue flaps and just very carefully attach the panel to the glue flap to connect these two panels together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added on his little bow tie, and now I'm going to go and assemble all of these little gingerbread house details, and I will spare you from having to watch me do that. Okay, so now I've glued together all these little details, and I'm ready to put them on my box. I'm going to start with this front panel, which is going to be the front of my gingerbread house, and I'll place all these little details on here so I have an idea of where everything's going to go. So I'll put these little candy canes and the peppermints And then we have these little icing swirls that are going to go at the top here. So now I can go ahead and glue everything down. I'll start with the peppermint, and forgive my head popping into frame here, and then the swirls, and then the candy canes. I'll move on to the next panel and glue on the window and the little icing swirl, and then the lollipops. And then on the next panel, I'll glue down the window and the icing swirl. And there's 2 candy canes here that I forgot to show in the video. And then the last panel with the window and the icing and the lollipops. And finally, we can do our gumdrops on the roof. So I'll just go ahead and place those on. And I'll just speed this up for time's sake. And then I'll do the gumdrops on the other side. And I'll speed this up for time's sake. And now that we have all our decorations complete, we are ready to finish up the box by gluing the last tab together. So I'm going to apply glue to this last tab and then fold over the other end to complete the box. I'll just use my brayer to make sure it gets a real good hold. And then finally we can go ahead and fold in the bottom flaps. These don't need any glue at all. We can just fold on the side flaps and then tuck the tab into the slot on the other end, and the bottom will lock together and it will stay closed without any glue. So here's our finished gingerbread gable box. I think it's pretty cute. And to close it up, all we need to do is line up his little hands and then slide the slots over them on each side. And there we have it. You can go ahead and fill this up with some yummy treats or goodies. It can even hold a 3-inch ornament. I hope you found this video helpful. As mentioned, I also include a print and cut version with this design, and I'll put a link to that assembly video below.